What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, this video is not an anti-Top Rank. It's not a smear campaign. I'm just speaking from the heart. And I've talked about this before, but they've announced the Cotto-Martinez Undercard. And to be honest, I think it sucks. And the crazy thing about it is when you compare the two Top Rank Golden Boy and look at their cards, I think you're getting more bang for your buck with Golden Boy. Like, even if you look at, let's say, Keith Thurman versus Julio Diaz, that fight I expected a little bit more. I thought it would end in a more conventional fashion. However, even without that fight, even though it didn't end like I wanted it to, I was still very impressed with the undercard because Lucas Matisse and John Molina Jr. put out a Fight of the Year candidate. So you're almost guaranteed to see at least one good fight when the cards are stacked. Versus with Top Rank, it looks like their formula is an exciting main event and fuck everything else. You know what I'm saying? You got Pacquiao Bradley too, great fight. Cotto-Martinez, great fight. But what's the undercard like? And I still state this. Bob Arum said he didn't agree. He said people don't care about the undercard. I disagree. Like I said, we have to, as fans, fork over $70 or whatever to watch this shit in HD and put all our money in the fact that the main event is going to be worth it. So Cotto-Martinez, this is what the undercard consists of. Andy Lee, who got destroyed by Julio Chavez Jr. in the later rounds. Andy Lee versus John Jackson at middleweight. Jorge Melendez versus Yuri Foreman, who got destroyed by Miguel Cotto some years ago. Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. and Marvin Sansana. That's the undercard. Just look at the picture I put together for you guys. This look like the fucking cast of the new Twilight movie. Nobody wants to see this bullshit. And it's just like, who? Andy Lee? I mean, he's cool. He's solid. But on your biggest pay-per-view of the year, or one of them, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think this could do better than Pacquiao Bradley too, just because it's not a rematch. We've never seen it. Cotto's trying to set history. Cotto can put asses in the seats. Martinez has a cult following as well, and it's for a belt. I mean, I think this could do great pay-per-view numbers, and this is your undercard? Like, that's crazy to me. And you look at it. Cotto's fighting in his second home, New York, Madison Square Garden. He's from Puerto Rico, Puerto Rican native, and there's a lot of Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans in that area in New York. And this is your undercard. And you know Cotto has drawing star power. So to me, if I was Todd or if I was Bob Arum and this was the event, I would try my best to stay in line with the competition and try to cater to that demographic. You got Miguel Cotto, and you have a rising Puerto Rican sensation like Felix Verdejo, and he's not even on the card. Like, that seemed like an easy fit for me to put Felix Verdejo on this card. You got the future, possibly. He looks like he's the goods of Puerto Rico versus the older veteran Puerto Rican that still can put asses in the seats. And you don't even do that. And the thing is, you got to look at it like this. I understand, like, doing the Mayweather Maidana, that's an expensive card because you have a lot of guys who are going to want a big salary. So not everyone's going to fork over that much cash and hope to get a return on their investment. Because you got Mayweather Maidana, you had Adrian Broner, Amir Khan, all guys who have a reputable star power, I guess you could say. So they're going to want a nice size purse, a nice size payday. I get that. But Felix Verdejo, he hasn't done anything as a pro, but he's an exciting fighter. So I doubt he would just be asking for some astronomical number. Plus, it would probably be a privilege for him to fight on a Miguel Cotto undercard. That's like Donaire fighting on a Pacquiao undercard. Who wouldn't want to fight under someone who is of your same descent and was your predecessor? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just really feel like someone like Felix, they could have made him, they could have put him on this card, and I think that would be a lot better than really Andy Lee versus John Jackson. Jorge Melendez. And I understand Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. He's the son of a boxer. He's Puerto Rican himself, but Nonito Donaire beat him. What has he done really since then? It's not the same type of affair as opposed to putting some new blood, someone who is still on the rise. And I'm not saying it just had to be Verdejo, but somebody, I feel you could have made this card a whole hell of a lot more impactful. And then you cross over the pond and look at Golden Boy and what they're doing. They have Robert Guerrero, and this is not even a pay-per-view event, but they have Robert Guerrero making his comeback against the Japanese fighter. So he'll be fighting, and a lot of people want to see how fighters look after a Mayweather loss. So he'll be fighting Yoshihiro Kamiga, and you also have on that card, on the undercard, Devin Alexander, Jesus Soto Caras, and Gary Russell Jr. versus Lomachenko. Like, that's a stacked ass card, and that's regular showtime. So these regular showtimes have better cards than Top Rank's pay-per-view. Do me a favor, tell me. I liked Brian Vera versus Chavez Jr. too. It was a good fight. What was the undercard for it? And if you can't think without Googling it, then that's a problem. But if you were to ask me, hey, Keith Thurman fight with Julio Diaz, what was the undercard? I'll tell you straight up, it was John Molina Jr. and Lucas Matisse. Why? Because of the exciting fight, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So I think Top Rank is getting stomped when it comes to these complete cards, and you're getting more bang for your buck. Yes, Top Rank has some exciting matches. Some are recycled or rematches, but a lot of them are still good fights. But they need to work on their undercard. And I told you guys before, part of business is to stay in line with your competition. You have to view your competition. You have to be competitive with your competition. And if you don't, then you'll end up like Blockbuster. Blockbuster was no longer a necessity after Redbox and Netflix, because Redbox and Netflix offer something new. Like, yeah, you can rent a movie for $1. Netflix, oh, you can. They used to do it in the mail, and then they improved, and they're like, oh, you can do online streaming. Blockbuster didn't evolve quick enough, therefore they fizzled out. So I'm not saying Top Rank. I know Bob Arum's been in the business since the Muhammad Ali days, probably even before that. So I'm not saying they're going to go out of business, but I think they keep getting shitted on. That's what I do think with these undercards. And to have a fight of the magnitude of Cotto-Martinez, it just seems kind of counterproductive that you wouldn't splurge a little bit to make a better undercard. Andy Lee and John Jackson, like, I have nothing against any fighter. Like, if you lace them up, I respect you. But that card doesn't even really appeal to anybody. Like, Andy Lee, he's not even from the States. And that's cool if you have someone, but it's not even like a fighter like Carl Froch or Amir Khan, who's not from the States, but they would probably bring a lot of fans to the States because they're well known. Andy Lee is not that type of fighter. So I feel like they need to do some research, their marketing team at Top Rank, and really get a pulse and get a read on what the fans want, because I think the fans are demanding more and want more. So I really feel they could have done a better job with majority of their undercards. Let me know what you guys think. Top Rank undercards versus Golden Boy. It's not even just recently. Even if you look last year, Adrian Broner versus Marcos Maidana, good fight. Turned out to be a good fight. Then you also had Keith Thurman and Jesus Soto Caras on the undercard, which was a good fight. So I can remember these off of